Hi, my talented sewing friends. Today we're going to draft a basic pattern for women's pants in size 38. That's a medium size, which is super popular. And the good news is, at the end of this tutorial, I'll also show you how to easily adjust this pattern for smaller or larger sizes like 36 and 40. So, if you want to sew perfectly fitted and flattering pants, make sure to watch this video till the end. I'll be sharing lots of useful tips and tricks that you won't find everywhere. Let's get started with the pattern. These measurements are intended for classic formal trousers with a standard fit that drape over the shoes. Subtract your desired waistband height from this measurement. This is the crease line of the pants. When you place this line along the straight grain of the fabric while cutting, it helps the pants hang nicely and prevents them from twisting around the legs. If you have a belly, you can skip this 1.5 centimeter adjustment. Knee length from waistline to knee. Don't forget to subtract the waistband height, the rise of the pants, from this measurement. This pants design fits an average height. If you're taller or shorter, just adjust the length a bit. When sewing pants, we usually add about 1 centimeter extra to the inseam height, the inside leg seam, because of the crotch depth and the fuller shape of the hips. Sometimes, you might notice that some pants feel a bit tight or pull up in this area when you wear them. That's exactly why. Giving a little extra room here makes the pants fit more comfortably and move better with your body. Always remember to close the darts on your pattern before cutting in the dart areas. If you skip this step, the dart space will end up smaller or tighter than it should be. And when you sew, you won't have enough fabric to shape the dart properly. So please close your darts first. It makes sewing much easier and helps your clothes fit better. Hi friends! Usually, the back pattern of pants is bigger to cover the hips and butt. But for bodies with a big belly, we need to add more room to the front. We lengthen the front rise or add extra width in front so the pants fit comfortably and look nice. With the right pattern adjustments, we can fix this easily. I've shared the link to the basic bodice pattern and size grading tutorial above. Check it out later when you get a chance. I think it might be useful for you too. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I absolutely love sharing small but powerful sewing tips and techniques that I've learned over many years of hands-on experience. Make sure to watch all my videos so you don't miss these valuable secrets. And feel free to request any tutorial you'd like. I'll be more than happy to share it with you. At this step, please measure your waist curve depth, just like in the picture. This measurement is usually used when designing the back of a garment. It depends on the natural curve of your spine and the shape of your hips. Take your time and be as accurate as you can. It really helps make your clothes fit better. The crease line stays exactly the same. Just mark it and draw it on the back pants pattern in the same way. No changes needed. Make sure to use the front pants pattern as a guide when marking the anti-jump line towards the crotch. This way, both measurements will match perfectly and your pants will fit much better. When drawing the waistline on the back piece of your pants pattern, make sure it's at a 90-degree angle to the center back CB line. This helps keep the waistline even, so it won't end up too short or too long at the back. But if you have a prominent or rounded hip shape, you might feel there isn't enough space in the pattern. In that case, you need to adjust using a special technique. I've shared the tutorial link above. Check it out later. To adjust the 1/4 hip measurement on the back piece of the pants, start measuring from the new center back CB line. This helps you control the fit of the hip area. To check the 1/4 waist measurement plus 2 to 3 centimeters for the dart allowance, measure it from the new CB center back line. The dart length on the back of the pants depends on the hip curve. For this size, I usually make it about 9 to 10 centimeters long. Then, we mark the dart width, the extra space we added before, equally on both sides of the dart center point. In this case, I make the dart 3 centimeters wide. Check your total crotch length, the combined front and back rise, to make sure your pants fit comfortably. Measure from the front waist through the crotch to the back waist. Then, add your desired waistband height to this measurement. For example, the waistband height I used here is 4 centimeters. Always remember to close the darts on your pattern before cutting in the dart areas. If you skip this step, the dart space will end up smaller or tighter than it should be. And when you sew, you won't have enough fabric to shape the dart properly. So please close your darts first. It makes sewing much easier and helps your clothes fit better. When designing the waistband of your pants, first decide how wide you want it to be. For example, I want my waistband to be 4 centimeters wide, so I double it to 8 centimeters to include folding and seam allowance. For the length of the waistband, measure your full waist circumference and mark it completely. Hey friends, don't forget to check out my playlist for more awesome sewing tutorials. There's plenty of helpful videos waiting for you to explore, perfect for leveling up your skills. Dive in and enjoy! When you close, sew the darts on the pants. The waistband will fit perfectly to your waist measurement. All right, friends, let's talk about grading, sizing up or down. At this stage, the CB line, center back, CF line, center front, and the ironing line all stay exactly the same. For each size up, we add 4 centimeters to the width and 1 centimeter to the height. It's that simple. No changes to the important center lines, just a smooth adjustment in width and height. At this stage, every millimeter really matters. I recommend using a mechanical pencil or a sharp pencil with a fine tip. This way, if you make a mistake, you can easily erase it and fix it. Even a 1 millimeter difference can add up and affect the next sizes, so please take your time and do this step very carefully. I'm using a marker so you can clearly see the lines in the video. But when you do it yourself, make sure to work as precisely as possible. When you're adjusting the dart placement on the back of the pants for different sizes, always use the center of 1/4 of the waistline as your guide. This helps keep the fit balanced, whether the size is bigger or smaller. When you're adjusting the dart placement on the back of the pants for different sizes, always use the center of 1/4 of the waistline as your guide. This helps keep the fit balanced, whether the size is bigger or smaller. To make your work much easier, draw a diagonal line connecting the two measurements you've got. Then, mark the smaller and larger sizes along this line. This little trick will speed up your process and save you time. Now, I'm going to create the pattern for one size smaller and show you exactly how to do it. We'll work through the adjustments step by step together. So don't miss out and keep watching to learn all the tips. We have now drafted the back pattern for 3 different sizes. The central lines represent size 36, small. The middle lines are for size 38, medium. And the outer lines show size 40, large. This way, you can easily see the differences and choose the right size for your project. You can draw a smaller size by moving inside along these slanted lines on the pattern, and a bigger size by moving outside along the same lines. It's an easy way to adjust your pattern without making a whole new one. Please note that this pattern is designed for a normal, average body shape. I followed the same steps I used for the back pattern to design the front pattern of the pants in size 36, small. I'm so curious to see how you create a size 40, large pattern all by yourself. When adjusting the waistband length for different sizes, simply add 4 centimeters for each larger size or subtract 4 centimeters for each smaller size. It's an easy way to customize the fit perfectly.